Greetings! I am back today with another video. My hair is looking crazy, but I'm gonna roll with it anyway. So I'm gonna on this video do some promotion for my book, for my first book. The name of the book, you may have seen me post a short video in my stories, is on Agbani, the Ancient Path. It is available on Amazon. You can see my name here at the bottom. And also available on my website if you prefer the ebook version. So the website is www.gottobeoshun.org. G-O-T, the number 2, the letter B-O-S-H-U-N. So I've been thinking about what I can do to promote the book, what I can do to get awareness out about the book and make sure that people, y'all see Tatiana walking by, she had to be in it. Know that people know that the book is available and know that and make sure that people know that the book is out there and that it's a resource that they can use. I get inboxes, emails, and all types of correspondences every day from people who want to study the tradition with me. And that's good and that's wonderful, and I have many options for you to do that. And one of the places that I think it is necessary for people to start that study is with my book, because this gives you the fundamental information, the foundation, the basis for my particular method of teaching about the Orisha, the way that I was trained and the way that I then teach and convey the information to others. So today I'm going to read from the book. I'm going to give you a quote from the book just so that you can get a feel for the style of it. Let me look. Trying to check and see here. I don't think that this is just the proof copy. And whenever you write a book and get into the process of publishing, they send you a proof. And so this is my proof copy actually. So while your copy will look exactly like this, it's going to have some information in it that's a little different from mine. It's going to be more thorough actually. So the book is 8 chapters long. Each chapter begins with an Odu, which is similar to, and I explain Odu in the book so that you can get an understanding of it. But let's suffice it to say for this moment that Odu are similar to scripture. We can say that for this moment. I know that that doesn't completely cover it, so please don't come and crucify me and try to say that I said they were the same thing. But for those who don't have an understanding of the tradition at all, that's one of the simplest ways to convey it. So Odu are similar to scripture. So each chapter begins with an Odu because the Odu hold all of the seeds and all of the essential information of the culture. And in order to understand the tradition, the Anago tradition, which is now generally called the Yoruba tradition, you have to understand the culture. You're not going to gain any understanding of the Orisha tradition, how to worship the Orisha, how to interact with the Orisha, how to utilize them in your life, and learn to know when they are interacting with you and when you are in communication with them if you don't have an understanding of Anago culture. So I start each chapter with an Odu so that you will then begin to understand the cultural ways and mores of this particular group of West African ancestors. I will continue to say, and I say it all the time, for those of us of West African descent, the Orisha are in our bones. They are in our DNA. This way of life belongs to us. It is a system painstakingly created by the observation and the life experiences of our ancestors. So many parts of it, when you begin to study it, will resonate with you. And many of the things that you study will be simply a validation and an affirmation of things that you've already known and already felt. All right? So I'm just going to share. This is coming from chapter 6. And this is talking about what is an Egbe and why is it necessary. So Egbe simply means society, simply means group within the Anago language. So I'm just going to give just a little snippet. I don't want the video to be too long to give you an understanding of the type of information that you'll get in the book. Okay. The tradition is not an organized religion, so each Egbe has its own style. Many may meet every Sunday to accommodate the work schedules of its members. Many may meet every 4 days according to the ancient Yoruba calendar, and many may meet several times throughout the year. Most, but not all, require that white is worn during meetings and rituals, as this is the ancient ritual uniform. Some meet only to do rituals or to have bembes for the Orisha, while others see each other often and share a bond similar to that of an extended family. One thing that each Egbe does is to provide an opportunity for its members to immerse themselves in West African culture. Your Egbe should be your haven from the outside world, your shelter from the storm. Within its walls, figuratively or actually, you should feel protected and surrounded by the Orisha and your ancestors. Each member should do her best not to bring the pettiness, the jealousy, the greed, or the wickedness of the Western world into the African reality of the Egbe. The vibration of the Egbe is not just the responsibility of the presiding priests or priestesses. It is the responsibility of the devotees, the members themselves. Once again, each individual must take responsibility for his own actions, for his own growth, and for his own development. It is also the responsibility of each devotee of the Orisha tradition to participate in the global Egbe of devotees by acknowledging other practitioners. Do not allow yourself to be pulled into the slave mentality of judging one form of the tradition to be better than the other. From the west coast of Africa to the shores of the Americas and the islands of the Caribbean, we were all polluted by the Western mentality. There is no form of the tradition that remains untainted by the stain of the Ma'afa, or the enslavement period. Even in Ile-Ife, Nigeria, the place our ancestors called the land where the day first dawned and the birthplace of this tradition, there are people who are more devoted in this day and time, most are more devoted in this day and time to regurgitating the dogma of Christianity than espousing the wisdom of Orunmila. I go on to tell, as Africans, we are struggling all over the globe to regain those parts of ourselves that were torn from us as a consequence of colonialism. As such, we must understand the differences in our ways of practicing as ecological necessities due to the circumstances our ancestors found themselves in. Let me pose a question to you. Did the Anago captive see himself as different if he was taken to Haiti instead of Cuba? History suggests not. Were you more Yoruba than me because your colonizer forced you to speak Portuguese while mine beat English into my tongue? Our shared culture says no. As such, we cannot continue to argue that Santeria is better than Lukumi or voodoo more sacred than Shango Baptiste. We cannot say that one is not truly initiated unless his or her spiritual leaders come from Nigeria or Cuba or Brazil. This is essentially an argument over who had the best oppressor. When we compartmentalize the tradition in this way, we are saying, my master was better than yours. When we look at this huge controversy from the perspective of our ancestors, and they are who were responsible for creating these Western forms of the tradition, it's clear that they did not see being enslaved in one place as being better or different from being enslaved in another place. As a matter of fact, our ancestors created these Western forms of the tradition to achieve the goal of having no slavery at all, in which of course they succeeded and were victorious. The differences in the forms of the tradition are by necessity and not by design. So that's just a little sharing with you from that particular chapter. I do encourage you to purchase the book either on Amazon or get the ebook from my website. It is available. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to try to share a couple of times a week. I have 3 books that are already published, so I'm going to try to share something from each one a couple of times a week. Just like I said, to get, make people aware and get the information out there and kind of create a buzz around them. Please share. Please tag people. Please let people know that this is something that's available to them. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ecstasy, abundance, and bliss to all of those within the sound of my voice. And as always, the lessons of life upon those who are wishing us otherwise. Y'all have a good day. Odabo.